Hello, ladies and gentlemen of the Starcraft Nation, Zoya from the Starcraft Squad, bringing you another matchup from the Black Dragon. What was it called? The Black Dragon League, I believe. It was casted by Day 9. It's in Europe. Spawning in the bottom left as the green Terran is mouzStrelok, and then the top right is PwRelfi. Now they're both extremely strong players. Strelok is definitely one of the strongest Terrans in, I want to say, the Foreigner scene. He is so good. I just love watching him play. Elfi is not as renowned as Strelok, not even close, but Elfi is still an extremely strong player. Extremely strong, and it's I love seeing these two fight. They're pretty damn good. Now, casted one game before, so I don't know the order they're in, so I'm not, I'll find that out and post them on the channel. So, but I don't think I'm casting them in or in the correct order, because the first game I casted, they were talking about one of their games at the beginning. So, in the channel or in the video description, I'll hopefully find out what the order actually was. But for now, I do not know. So we're just gonna say that it's a best of 3, and I'm not gonna tell you anything about the previous matches. So we're just gonna make you watch them to find out how the best of 3 goes. Now, this Black Dragon League seems pretty interesting. I was reading up on it. I'll put a link to it down below. We got lots of pylons going down in Strelok's base. Let's go to Strelok's view. He sees this one right here, and it's going to be killed by these Marines. Now, doing something like this forces him to pump out a couple Marines to stop any early warp gate play. But he hasn't seen this one. Elfi's doing a good job at, keeping Strelok's vision away from this pylon. He threw this down as well to stop any warp gate play and to delay him from scouting up here. Stalker or Zealot doing a good job from stopping that supply depot from building. Here is this pylon. Strelok hasn't seen it yet. Good job sniping that. He needs to cancel that, Elfi. Good job. Zealot's still up here. And here comes the Zealot's in the base. Good job. Warping in more Zealots. Just warping a lot of Zealots right now. And this is an amazing play from Elfi. Will Elfi get that? Yes, he will. And a lot of SCVs dying for Strelok right now. Warping in more Stalkers or Zealots. We do have Concussive Shell though, so this makes this Marauder Force pretty damn good. Warp Gate's just now finishing, but he's not going to warp in any more units. Now if we go to the Income tab, 14 Harvesters versus 11. 15 now, so we did kill some SCVs there. Let's go to the units lost, or the units lost tab. Elfi lost 1,600 minerals versus Strelok's 850, and we have a pretty damn good Marauder push coming here. But Elfi was ready for it. 2 sentries here. Now, in case you Protoss players are curious, 4 sentries can infinitely, forever, wall off a base. So if you're ever wondering, like, damn, how many sentries do I need to just keep him on my base forever? If he's like, he has this huge force outside me, like, he's one basing me. 4 sentries. 4 sentries should infinitely be able to do it. Now we have a factory and an expansion going on for Strelok, and an expansion going down for Elfi. Pretty bold move from Elfi, especially against a Terran, who he just did a lot of damage to, but assuming no Strelok's playing, he knows Strelok's going to be expanding soon, so he doesn't probably feel too scared about it. Now we have a lot of sentries here. This is way too many sentries in my opinion against a Terran player. Sentries they're really good against Terran in some situations, but maybe Elfi's just got great force field play. We'll have to see, but I don't think he really needed this many sentries. Make 4, 3, especially when he's just trying to claim his expansion. You want this many against a Zerg when they're trying to wall off against an early Zerg League push to your expansion when you're 3 at expansion. But against a Terran, I don't really agree with this. Now we have Siege Tanks in position here. We are supply blocked pretty hard right now. Getting a reactor as well, so we're going heavy mech here against Elfi. Going to be seeing pre-igniter. Still no +1 weapon or armor yet. We're getting the armory though. Going to be seeing some Thor, so we're going pretty heavy mech here against Elfi. Lots of stalkers warping in, and there's so many sentries in the army. I really don't think this is a good choice. But we'll have to see how this works out for Elfi. Here comes the push. There's the Guardian Shield, but he's just got so many sentries. I mean, he's going to have lots of wall-offs here, but... I mean, look at all his sentries are already almost dead because they're just so squishy, especially against these siege tanks. Now here come 2 Hellions. They do have Infernal Pre-Igniter, and we're going to try and keep an eye on both things. So here comes a push, and here comes the Blue Flame Hellions, killing some at probes. Now here comes an engagement. We're pushing forward really, really hard right now. Focus fighting down the siege tanks with our Zealots. We have so many Zealots in this force, and it's definitely looking like we're going to be able to come out on top here. But look at how much damage these Blue Flame Hellions are. I'd like to see Elfi move these guys up here, which he is. Excellent. Needs to not be on attack. Now, Elfi doing a great job with his force fields, cutting off all these SCVs. Now, more Stalkers warping in, but they're still doing a lot of damage to these probes. Coming back down here, expansion was lost. And Elfi, I think, definitely came out on top of that fight. Income tab shows 27 harvesters versus 19. So maybe not. It doesn't look like it, actually. It looks like Elfi definitely took the harder hit there. We go to the units lost tab. It's fairly even now. So even though Elfi is doing all his damage right now. Oh no, will the upgrade finish? It's going to be so close. No, it's not. That's game over for that upgrade. Strelok has lost slightly more money, but he's still ahead on the income tab. And we have more Hellion harassment going on here. Look at these Hellions just eating away at poor old Elfi. Income tab's 21 versus 29. He's just bringing his army home now. I mean, he stopped the expansion, but the income tab is just... Strelok has a huge lead right now with all this harassment he's doing. Another armory being built for Strelok. He wants to get out those Thors, and it looks like we've got a little bit of wall off from our siege tanks, but as soon as we lift off this command center, we'll be okay. Strelok doing something that most Terrans don't do when they go mech. This is why you lower level Terran players, you know, lose some of your games. Look at him repairing his units. That's the best part of mech. You don't have a, you know, medevac for your mech. You have SCVs, so why not heal them up? Now we have a pretty heavy mech force coming from Strelok here. It's going to do a great amount of damage. We don't have any immortals over here. All we have is stalkers and sentries. So the Hellions aren't going to be that great against the stalkers. But if there's any Zealots on the field, they'll eat them up. And then, of course, here comes the push, though. A lot of the Strelok siege tanks aren't in position. But it's still forcing Elfi to fall back. Good force fields here. I'd like to see some more probe harassment. I mean, right now he could easily slip these through here. How much? Okay, this one's got enough energy for it, but I don't think he will, you know, be able to stop them. These Hellions are pretty damn fast. Curious as to why he's putting his barracks there. I'm really intrigued as to that. If anyone knows the point of this, I mean, maybe to like help defend his siege tanks against charge lots, probably. I really think this is a cool little strategy here from Strelok. I mean, holy, that's really innovative. Do you see how fast those Zealots got destroyed by these Blue Flame Hellions and by the siege tanks? I mean, they're just getting eaten alive. 3 siege tanks left. Blinking forward, though. What an amazing blink. Focus fighting down these siege tanks. But Elfi needs to split his Hellions here. He needs to throw 3 over here as well. Get up into the base. Is there a sentry? There's no sentry, so he should be able to get up into this base. Do some more probe damage. We do have another stalker up here. And then here comes some pretty heavy probe harassment. Now you're probably asking for the lower level Terran players or the lower level Protoss player or lower level any player really, because this applies to all harvesters. Why didn't Elfi move forward or run away with his probes? As soon as you drag those probes away from the middle line, guys, they all stream in one big line, and 3 Hellions will literally one-shot every one of those. It is safer to just leave your Hellions, your probes there, to avoid as much splash damage as possible. Now, Zealot's taking out this barracks. Income tabs 14 harvesters for Elfi, 42 for Strelok. We have a lot of Blue Flame Hellions here, even though they're not that strong against stalkers. This many with Blue Flame does a lot of damage. production tab shows more siege tanks on the way, and 4 Hellions, 4 Elfi. We got the double reactor going down. No starport play at all. All we're worried about is just stopping him completely. Now, income tab, 17 versus 42. This is not looking good for Elfi. We're moving this way with our Hellions. Going to try and do a little bit of scouting, see if there's any proxy pylons, any hidden tech. But right now, this is pretty much game over for Elfi. He's going on his last bid here, which is going to be Dark Templar. If he can do well with his Dark Templar, he can win this game. But knowing Strelok, I doubt it's going to go well. Now, good blink from Elfi, completely walling off the entrance to his base. Picking off more probes, though. Going to finish off these... No, he's going to run away from the Zealots. Not bad from Elfi. That was a perfect play from there. Blinking to the entrance, stopping those Hellions from getting into the only mineral, only harvesters he has. 19 versus 44. Strelok's not even building them anymore. And he's not even getting Thors or anything. He's just going heavy siege tank and heavy Hellions. Okay, so he does have Thors queued up, but he is pretty supply block pretty hard. He does this quite frequently. Strelok doesn't even have a supply depot building right now. He's just going to wait for this command center to finish, which I think is the weirdest thing for a professional player to do. Look how hard he's supply blocked. He's going to be supply blocked for 28 more in-game seconds because he doesn't have any supply depots building. But at this point, I don't think Strelok feels he has the need to, do that. But you always want to, practice your thing. Look how much damage these Blue Flame Hellions were doing to these. There's the Dark Templar. Hopefully we're ready with our scan. Turret going down. We need a scan, though. Strelok, there you go. Good scan. SCV's here repairing, and there's the GG from Elfi. Amazing game. Elfi's attack up here with all those units was great, but those Blue Flame Hellions just did an amazing job there of taking Elfi out of the game. So good job to Strelok. Make sure you guys subscribe. See you guys later.